The following report contains a Zoom conversation that was filmed on December 30th, 2020.
Live from the rented NYC apartment bedroom of Deshaun, also known as Nichon 101, and the Zoom locations of the Midwest, the South, and East Coast tri-state area is the first annual Charties Awards. And here is your host, Deshaun.
This is Trending Headliner of the Year. And I describe this category as the artists who found themselves constantly discussed in press and on social media because of their actions and music in 2020. And the nominees are Beyoncé for Juwan, Kanye West for Nyanka, Megan Thee Stallion for Kyle, Nicki Minaj for Kia, and Tekashi 69 for Denisha. This is I should save this one for last, but some of the good categories come up first. You'd be like, ooh. Okay, so Juwan, I am giving you a minute to argue in favor of Beyonce.
If there's one thing Beyonce has and will always have, it is the immaculate power of PR. And by I mean the immaculate power, I mean the privilege of having 99% of the music universe on your side, no matter what you do or how you do it. And she proved that with Black is King and getting a ton of Grammy nominations that she always has. Let's see if they translate to wins, and hope they deserve to, but we'll see. But and then in addition to being on the Savage remix, so she knew when she was needed during 2020, and she was there for the important parts, and she made sure to leverage her platform to bring light to empower Black people and the various African cultures.
Thank you
along with her own way.
For Beyonce. Nyanka, Kanye West.
Okay, Mr. Fake President. He was busy this year, even though he was doing a lot with his company and his fake presidential run. He was behind some bangers, or at least some artists who made some bangers. He had hands in Ty Dolla $ign's album, that Ty Dolla $ign's Ego Death that we just spoke about. He also had hands in, I think his name is St. John's work. Overall, and I mean, even his song with his Na 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 remix with the baby, I didn't hear a lot of buzz about it, but I actually listened to it and it was really good. I was nervous because he on his little Jesus kick, but his production skills are still top tier. Obviously, you don't have to go far. Just look at who he's produced for. Even outside of his own music, he's still making some heat and he still commands Twitter. Anything he posts everyone is on it. I rest my case.
All right. Up next is Kyle arguing for Megan Thee Stallion.
All right. I don't even know if I got to really get into it. I mean, Megan Thee Stallion owned 2020 point blank period. Whether it was the release of the Sugar EP that birthed Savage, Captain Hook, then we got Savage Remix, we got Good News, we got Body. That's just musically. Obviously, there was the situation with Tory Lanez that I still think she handled incredibly well under all that public pressure. She came out of it, honestly, better, I would say. I think, her fans really stayed by her side. She was trending throughout the entire year. People were rooting for her, and she delivered for them. She got her 4 Grammy noms, Best New Artist and Record of the Year. Megan Thee Stallion owned 2020, and I even mentioned WAP. I forgot about WAP. I mean, she had those congressmen all in a tizzy about it, along with Cardi. So Megan Thee Stallion, I mean, I didn't really know what else there is to say. That is it. She was 2020, point blank period.
Thank you. Up next is Kia arguing for Nicki Minaj.
Well, Nicki Minaj is a polarizing figure, and I think that's something that she is well aware of, which is why I think this year she wasn't as polarizing as maybe she's been in the last 2 years. Despite that, I think that the damage that has been done from the last 2 years, from Queen on now, is still like we're still living in that. Which is why her announcing that she married a child molester slash gangbanger, her then having a child by this said child molester slash murderer slash gangbanger, along with her lackluster feature on the Say So remix, her forgettable feature on Trolls, has all combinated into where we are now with Miss Minaj. I hope that next year is a better year for her and that we don't forget the single that she released this year, which is still forgettable.
Thank you, Kia.
Go for the jugular, why don't you?
And the last nominee is Tekashi 69, which will be argued by Demisha.
Well, Tekashi 69, Mr. Daniel Hernandez. Hopefully, this is the last year that we ever have to speak of this character. But despite all of his many shortcomings, he still somehow made waves in 2020. The COVID pandemic was somehow good to him. I guess evil people benefit from a pandemic because he got out of jail because of the coronavirus. He got out of jail early. It was able to release music, which somehow landed at the top of the charts. Gooba, the song that he dropped right after prison, is one of the most viewed videos on YouTube this year, had 40 million views in one day. Landed him in the charts. It sunk later, but it still got him to the charts where he wants to be. He later released Trolls with our other good friend, Nicki Minaj. Also debuted at #1, got her first #1 out of her decades-long career. It's really powerful. I hate to use that word, that this was her first, #1 song. So somehow Tekashi is able to do all of that and be the person that he is again. I hope we leave this man in 2020, but a trending person in 2020 he was.
Okay. All right. Thank you guys. Woo! Y'all just ate the Trolls duo up. Like,
Don't make me do that
y'all
again.
trolled them right
Not
back.
expecting that. I wasn't.
I was gonna turn away, like you know how everyone was standing for Frank Ocean at one time at the Grammys, and Chris Brown was the only one. I was about to.
Oh.
This was this is actually a very competitive field. I also think the funny thing about Nicki is just yikes.
Oh wow!
Yikes was good.
Yikes was good.
Yikes was good.
That was a good
No.
I like Yikes too.
Yeah.
It's just the other shenanigans. Just
yeah, like Nicki Minaj
for the more positive things, I think.
Yeah, like she had a baby.
She had a
Positive.
whole lot of choppers. That remix, What That Speed About. I thought those were nice verses. And really got her, I think, to back to that little audience where she like hops on these songs by smaller rising artists and still expands her audience in that sort of way. I mean, her pregnancy obviously wasn't under the most ideal circumstances, but pregnancy is still birth. It's a beautiful thing. She has always said she wanted a kid. That was really great for her on a personal note. And I honestly think that given the whole pandemic thing and just how she is with anniversaries, period, she handled the Pink Friday anniversary better than I thought it was going to be.
That was super
we were
cute.
going to get an Instagram post and that was it. But she was oddly personable that entire sort of week. We got new merch. Like she was really honing in on this. Oh, I am like in another stage of my career at this point. I'm a decade in. This is where I stand in female rap. Let me really bask in this. Let me big up some of these new girls on Twitter and stuff like that as well. So on the positive side, Nicki had a good 2020, but I still have to take away from all the other shenanigans that happened for her 2020.
Literally, like she had a decent year to me. She really just has to stop aligning herself with abusers. Like,
girl, talk about it.
She just has to drop it, and literally so much of her hate will go away. As she likes to put the Nicki hate train. If she just drops like 3 people from her Rolodex, like most of us would be so happy.
I don't understand.
Oh my, look, That's the barb. The barb's gonna hack my Google speaker. You hear it? Start talking.
I love me some Nicki, but
It,
you have to be able to like stab your idol sometimes.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
Nicki. She got to be held
I
accountable for that. You can't keep hanging out with Tekashi and defending your alleged rapist husband. Like you can't. Like there's a level of accountability that she doesn't have.
I 100% agree.
There in 2021.
She's obviously very committed to it for whatever reason. I don't know what possibly any of the people she's aligned herself with in the last ever really, but I don't know why, but she finds some value in it. But despite that, all I was going to say, like Kia was saying, a lot of what she did was forgettable this year. A lot of it we wish we could forget, but she was still talked about. She was still... she was
trending all the time.
I mean, people were talking about she make up with Cardi. People talking about she...
trending.
Yeah, it was a year for her.
Just interesting tidbit. Megan ruled 2020, but we just spent our time talking about Onika. I rest my case.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, I think we're fleshing out the good and bad. There was really just
fight for Megan, Kyle. Go ahead.
What Megan had to offer in 2020. We didn't have to go through it. We know. Come on now. She killed it. That didn't have to have a discussion. Nicki, we had to have a more nuanced discussion.
Meg killed it, but her album was subpar.
But that's not the category. The category is...
What is the category? What's the category?
Trending... What is it? Trending Artist of the Year? Not Album of the Year. That's what
Trending Headliner of the Year.
And I think also Nicki is on that kind of stage in the rap world where it's like, if she just did the music and did it well in the way that Beyonce did, we would still talk about her, but it would be positive. Like, we don't have all positive things to say about Beyonce or her husband or their wealth, but they're still, again, on the popular side of everyone, or at least she is, at least Beyonce. There's like, she hasn't done anything that, she's done some things this year, but she didn't do anything that made us turn on her or feel like we couldn't still believe she is one of the greatest performers of our time. So, yeah.
I mean, it's Beyonce, so it's like, that she's a robot at this point. Like, we know what to expect. We know she commands. We know we're getting a package. That's what it is. I would bat. Like, I love B, but I would. And Black is King was a gift. It did come with its critiques and issues, but I would probably go up for Megan more than I would for B. Just because, like, this girl was on every damn magazine. She literally went from Tina Snow to Vogue and like
GQ covers.
Like, what the hell? Like, it just happened so fast, and it was just so like, for a year where a female rapper couldn't go out and do what female rappers do, or like we couldn't have the female rap experience. Like, for a newbie, like,
I think I got 3 mag covers, honestly, maybe just 2. She was on Time. She was on GQ. I feel like I got 3 in there because I'll be buying magazines. It might just be 2, but beyond that, she was in a lot of headlines for good and for bad. Hopefully she elevates beyond being the headline girl next year and listen to those Megan Monday raps, but on a song.
On an album. I want more than a song. Megan Camp, if you see this video, don't play my girl like that again. Period. Because she got the talent. All right. I rest my case.
I will say, as the moderator, and votes are already coming in.
Yep.
Wow, votes are coming in. I will say, as the moderator, because the Beehive can't stand me and I can't stand y'all asses either.
Oh my goodness.
I will say, as the moderator though, I was very surprised at how relevant Beyonce stayed in 2020. The Grammy, she's the most nominated Grammy artist off of Savage Remix, Brown Skin Girl music video, and Black Parade. We had a lot of opinions because I think the thing about like all of these artists, like I think all the artists that are in the hip hop space particularly, and all of these artists that are nominated they purposely do things for controversy at this point, I feel like. And Beyonce definitely was in the whole controversial thing because Beyonce has been playing this angle for almost a decade now of am I Black or am I white? And I think Black is King really brought up those debates a lot. Not like questioning if she's white, but just like there were really like
Is she a white person's
continent of people upset at her. Like it was not all a positive year for Beyonce. She turned it around, but like there was a whole continent of people upset with her.
Hell yeah, that's what I was saying. Black is King brought some people who were like, why are you using our culture for like it was a whole I ain't forget.
Well, no, but I think unfortunately, because I am a proud member of the Critique Beyonce, despite what she does initiative, and because no, and I think when you reach a level that she's at, unfortunately, it's almost like any sort of critique. It almost goes past you. It's kind of like you have a permanent bulletproof vest on. I mean, as someone who's a huge fan of Drake, I've personally seen how, like, despite maybe one or two things, for the most part, he remains pretty like free of like real hard hitting stuff. Even like the quote unquote blackfishing shit that happened with the whole Pusha T situation, nobody really brings it up outside of a few stands or people who just don't like him, but it hasn't affected him negatively in any way. So I think when we're talking about like controversy, or when we're talking about like those who stay in the headlines, every time Kanye tweets, that shit stays in the headlines.
Period.
Every time Nicki comes on Twitter and she's interacting or any type of thing, it stays in the headlines. Like anytime who else was in the category? I'm sorry.
Megan.
Megan, obviously, despite the positive that she's had this year, we know what a big situation that whole Tory Lane shit was. And how that's really kept her in the headlines. And even outside of that, her sexuality, her body, the music she makes. Of course, Tekashi, I didn't even want to speak about the nigga because we know about like the shit that he deals with. So he had to release a whole documentary on Hulu just to get his point across. So it's just like those are polarizing people that I feel like when we talk about 2020, like they definitely stood out. But Beyonce, she's never going to fully face criticism the way we should hold her to. But
and I will say the Black is King thing. I think although some of the critique did get buried online, I think at least in person I had really interesting conversations sparked by that whole thing, like on my campus, especially in terms of our different Black communities on campus. And I think that even though it's not really Beyonce being in the headline, but at least the conversation that she's spurring in different avenues, I think can also be added on to that.
Yeah, no, like Beyonce, like the only like drama that she really had was like the Black is King stuff. People confused about all the nominations for Black Parade, even Gold Derby was like, this was very unexpected. I agree with them. Gold Derby is the like awards prediction website for those who don't know at home. But she generally had a pretty like positive press year. Like her team knows how, even her publicist, when she did that whole thing about we move in silence, basically, when her publicist basically like posted on her Instagram story, real G's move in silence, basically. But they escaped that, like.
But I mean, there were times where like her mom tweeted stuff that was really condescending. Like it was like there were lots of moments.
Well, her mom is
like it was things like you're like, why are you talking down to people like that? These people who buy her album and stream her music, like. So I don't think it was all positive. I think that again, because she's Beyonce, like we kind of just like forgot about it. But Miss Tina, we seen those comments on Instagram, mama.
Yeah. Child, don't even get me started. The Carters
somebody
is
will
so
tag Miss Tina in this, but she is somebody that is just older and doesn't understand. Not that she doesn't understand how the internet works, but she's just petty. I'm gonna be honest. She feels the need to snark at people or clap back at people, which like the Roxanne Gay thing. I don't know why like they feel the need to just respond to every little thing that's said about people they like, not even about them. That's all another thing.
Talented, we know that. Like just
she's
let us
just
be poor in peace, like whatever.
But she's on her own thing. I don't think that's representative of everybody on Beyonce's side, but I get the point.
Okay, so Kia, you're the last person who hasn't voted yet.
I sent it.
Now, Kia. Girl, I know she did not.
Uh-oh.
Y'all, I'm going to tell you who the winner is, but I'm going to be like, what's her name? Deborah Dugan, when she like outed the Grammys committee or whatever. I'm about to out her.
Oh my God, am I jumping?
Bruh, Kia voted for Tekashi 6ix9ine.
After all that.
Tekashi 6ix9ine and the baby. Wow.
Sorry, Kia, you're gonna have to take the other one because I'm taking the baby. I ain't taking that.
Yeah.
Can I add my own? I'm not taking him.
We gotta discuss Tekashi.
I ain't taking him.
We gotta discuss. Now maybe Kia, I have to now run through the categories for y'all to tell you if someone has multiple of their team members nominated.
I don't even know what that man does.
After all of that.
Nah, we gotta get you out. No, see.
Nope, it's because it's because I'm a great debater.
Because the gag was, I didn't want to argue for him. I just wanted to vote against him.
I'm the great debater.
No, it's good. No, we're not clapping for that. No.
It's like when you know a nigga guilty, but you know you're not the right lawyer to argue it. So you be
right.
Like, oh, no.
That's a great comparison.
OJ Simpson trial. Like, I know I'm a good lawyer, but I think I need to bring like 5 more people on to prove my point.
Right. Right. With that being said, Tekashi 6ix9ine did not win trending headliner of the year. Congratulations to body yaddy 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 yaddy. Megan Thee Stallion advances to the final countdown.